What up, everybody? In the drug game, the number one key to any operation's success is going to be the plug. Without a plug, you're out the game. You have no product to sell. That's why in Power, you kept seeing Ghost killing all the plugs trying to get out of the game. And if you don't have a good plug, you're just barely gonna be scraping by. You're only gonna be as big as your connect. I don't care how good of a hustler you are, you could be able to sell sand at a beach. But if your connect is putting together a bunch of 20s or something like that to get you your supply, you just gonna be barely getting by. The connect is going to be the better connect is going to be the person with the lowest price and the best quality. The lower the price and the best quality. The person with the connect sets the market price as long as they have enough to supply. So basically, as long as they connect isn't just like a one-time thing where you have a bunch of product but you can't get no more. We saw that in Power as well with Tariq when he was selling to Vincent, the Italian mob boss, but once he ran out of product, he had nowhere to go to get any more. That's why he had to cut the product and sell the fake baby aspirin or whatever he was selling. So you only go as far as your plug in the drug game. If your plug is far superior, like Rock's in Raising Kanan, which he has a Colombian supplier, Joaquin, you can put a monopoly on the market and put a lot of your competition out of business. I mean, that's in any business. That's just not the drug game. That's in retail business or anything. We saw it in the 80s and 90s. Walmart is a perfect example of how they came into different cities across the nation, and they put out a lot of mom and pop's businesses by offering wholesale prices to the customers. And basically that's what Rock and Joaquin is doing in Queens. When Unique first got out of jail, Dean told Unique when he went back to try to re-up that Rock and her Colombian connect have cornered the market in Queens. There's no place left for either one of them, Dean or Unique. So they do this by cutting out the middleman, lowering the prices by cutting out the middleman. So the middleman will always have to get his cut. By cutting out the middleman and going straight to the source itself, you get a bigger supply of the market because your prices are going to be lower and you're going to also make more money. There's an example in Power we can look at as well, another one that shows the importance of how much money you can make with a good connect compared to just an average connect. When Tariq got kidnapped by Vincent and the Italian mob for just doing what I just got done talking about, selling them the cut product, and Ghost and Tommy had to come up with $2 million by the next day for Vincent. They first off went to Jason, Tommy's connect, and they got the product, and they were able to come up with the full $2 million by putting all their people out, different crews, and hustling all throughout the city. But what happened was they got robbed by Jason on the way to meet Vincent, and they got half of their money took. So by the next day they were supposed to come up with $1 million again. At that point they couldn't go back to Jason. They had to go to Tasha's connect and they got rid of all of Tasha's Connect's product, and all they could come up with was 50 G's. So with Tommy's Connect, they were able to come up with 2 million, and with Tasha's Connect, they were able to come up with 50 G's. So that right there shows you the difference of how much money can be made with your Connect. And you got to think about it like this: when you have other distributors working for you, if you're not basically going straight to the Connect and then going to sell it to the users, the fiends or whatever yourself, if you have other people doing that for you, or they might have other people doing that for you, then other people, there might be a chain of 3 or 4 people that go from you or from the Connect to the actual user itself. It doesn't just go from the Connect straight to the user. There's a chain of events that happens before that. And there's a movie that DMX made back in, I think, the 90s, early 2000s, called Never Die Alone. And that will show you, watching that movie, a really interesting movie if you haven't seen it. A lot of different aspects about running off on the Connect, trying to find a new Connect and everything like that, and the hassle he had to go through trying to find that new Connect. And then when he went back to his home, I'm not going to spoil it. You should watch that movie. It's a really good movie. DMX, Never Die Alone. Teach you a lot about the importance of the significance of a Connect in the drug game. So this gets me to what Rock told Juliana in the season 2 finale of Raising Kanan, where she told her, when you're punching up, it's not how well you can throw, but how well you can take. Not how well you can throw, but how well you can take. And I've said this, I've told people this so many times in comments and different videos and different things. The drug game is it's not MMA. A lot of people who are ignorant to the streets, they think that the drug game is MMA. They think it's whoever the toughest, the strongest, the baddest dude is going to be the Connect, is going to be running things. And that's not the case. That's not how it works. You have to be connected. It's whoever is connected and who has the network and who could also be trusted by the Connect. Some people might have a chance to get connected, but they can't be trusted. Like, you might be able to come to me with the money I need or whatever. But if I don't trust you, if I feel like at some point you're going to try to rob me, cross me, or whatever, I don't care how much money you're going to bring me, I'm still going to stay away from you because I don't trust you. So the Connect, to be able to even first deal with you, they're going to have to be able to trust you. So there's a lot of aspects that go into that, and it's not about being the strongest or anything like that. But when working your way up to becoming a kingpin, most start their way at the bottom and work their way up. Just like in Power, Ghost and Tommy started their way off as corner boys and worked their way up to having the biggest shop in New York City. Because when you're punching up, like Rock called it, the higher you go up, the bigger target you have on your back. But if you start at the bottom, you can handle it because you learn how to move. It's like graduating in school. You're prepared for the next step because you've learned the operation already from the ground and you're working your way up. You learn from your mistakes. From my own personal experience, just starting out in the game, I got robbed at gunpoint, jumped by 3 guys at once and robbed, beaten down, set up for a felony drug charge. But when as I began to punch up, never again did I get robbed at gunpoint. Never again did I get beat down and jumped and robbed by 3 guys at once. Never again did I get set up for a felony drug charge, because I learned from my experiences. In an episode earlier in the season of Raising Kanan, Rock told Kanan, stay scared. It is fear that keeps us alive in this game. I always called it being paranoid. I'm constantly paranoid. I'm watching everybody. I'm watching everything, because I can't trust nobody. And even in Power, there was a scene where Tommy and Ghost are arguing, and Tommy said, "There's no friends in this game. You remember there's no friends in this game? Kanan taught us that." And Ghost replied, "I thought I had more than a friend. I had a brother." Because really the only people you can somewhat any type of way trust in that game is your family. Your friends, they'll turn on you quick for that paper. So Juliana is starting out, like Rock said, she's starting out in this game way above her weight class, because she ain't got the experience of going through the process of learning the whole operation. Like I said, for example, Ghost and Tommy. It's like if I have a business to the business, and I'm about to hire a CEO of that business, I got two options. I get the option of the person who has no work experience but went to like 8 years of college to learn a job. Or I got someone who started off at the ground floor and they learned every aspect of the business, worked them way up into a high management position now, and now that person has a chance over. I'm probably going to take the person, well, I already know who I'm going to take. I'm going to take the person who worked their way up from the bottom. Y'all might take the person with the 8 years of education, but I already know. Me, I'm hiring the person who knows the entire company from the ground. Juliana is starting way above her weight class, but I'm going to tell you where she gets her power from is her cousin Joaquin, because you can't just go at Juliana any old type of way, because she got protection of her cousin Joaquin. But you did see, as Rock was walking out of the diner, whatever the Colombians hang out at, Joaquin tells Juliana Rock is dangerous, so he already knows what time it is. And Juliana told him, I'm dangerous, but she ain't got she might think she dangerous, she might be cutthroat, she might be cold, but she ain't got that street knowledge from actually living life in the game that Rock has. So she might think she on Rock level, but she ain't nowhere even close to Rock level. So that gets me to what happened between Traymont and Rock. Basically, Traymont doing some real snaky stuff. We saw he was doing it when when Rock was sitting down for dinner with Juliana and Joaquin. You saw Abraham come up in there and get his meal. I mean, she obviously didn't recognize him, not knowing him in advance when he went in there that day. That's why Traymont sent Abraham in there. But they was spying on her, and they said, we need to find out everything as possible about all three people sitting at that table. So they found out everything. They found out who Juliana was, and they was able to step to Juliana and go around Rock. Like I said from the beginning, they're cutting out the middleman. So when they get back to Baltimore and DC, they're going to be making even more money. If they're already running a monopoly there, they're just going to be making even more money. But if they're not running monopoly, if they have any competition whatsoever, they're going to be able to have a better supply, and they might be able to even work with their former competition if they even have a better price now, because their competition might be paying a higher price, and they might be able to cut off that connect. So because that they ain't gonna go all the way to, they ain't gonna find Joaquin. So there's different aspects of why Traymont and Abraham did that, but doing that is definitely a no. Going behind someone's back to their plug, that's a no. It could definitely also get you killed, honestly. And as for the plug to work with someone, going behind their distributor's back and working with someone who they already knew was supposed to be working with that distributor, both of those things is shady. Rock has every right to be mad, but it's something that happens. I mean, it's just going to happen in the game because it's more money for both of the parties involved. I cut you out, you're the middleman. It's more money for each person. Even the Connect is going to be able to make a few more dollars off of that, cutting out the middleman. So it happens all the time, but Rock has a right to be upset about it. Now my question is, will Rock try to find a new Connect? Because she said I could always find a new Connect, but that's not as easy as it sounds, because there's a lot of problems trying to get a new Connect. You're going to be waiting as you try to find the new Connect, and while you're waiting, every day that you're without product is a day that your customers are going to someone else to get their drugs. So every day is a day you're losing money and you're losing customers as well. And if you got a territory that you're running and you ain't been in that territory because your people ain't in that territory, someone else gonna take over that territory as well. So there's gonna be a lot of problems just with that alone. And I mean, if you know how to move, you're gonna be able to find a Connect, but is it gonna be a good Connect? Because it could be someone who got half as good a product, or it could be someone who charging more money for something that's still not even as good. So when you have a good Connect, it's not something you just run off of. And that's what I was talking about on that movie with DMX, Never Die Alone. That will teach you about cutting off your Connect, because it's not that easy to find a new one. And if she cuts Traymont off, if she cuts Joaquin off, what's gonna stop him from trying to find a new New York distributor to now be another competition to Rock? Because he ain't just gonna go out of business in New York like that. So we might see them beef. I don't know if they're still gonna be working together. But the next question is Rock gonna seek revenge on Traymont? Because more realistically, that's who she got played by the most. She got played by Julian a little bit, but she got played by Traymont and Abraham all the way. And Traymont even had the nerve to pay Rock like she did a hit for him on Cartier. So he paid. This is for Cartier and getting my boy Abraham out. She got played by him just like she was playing Cartier, and we could see that. Could say we saw that coming from the time they was watching them at the diner. So I don't know how she gonna take revenge on Traymont, because even if she killed Traymont and Abraham, that still ain't gonna get her what she wanted ultimately, which was the territory in Baltimore and DC, because she don't know who is their network, because they ran the DC and the Baltimore network. So they're the ones who got the network there. They know the supply chain. They're the top of the food chain in that area. Everybody from the top up works for them. So the ground up, whatever, works for them. So even if she did take him out, she's going to be hard for her to get what she wants in that district unless she simply sends her own people there. And it ain't that easy not knowing the lay of the land. You'd have to learn the entire lay of the land there. So they really did her wrong, and there's honestly really not too much she can she can do about it except just try to keep hustling, keep grinding, keep playing the long game. Because personally, if I was her, she gonna be making a mistake if she tries to look for a new connect. I mean, she could just kill Traymont and Abraham if she could get an opportunity just to get revenge. Alright, leave your predictions on what's gonna happen with this whole situation between Rock, her connect, Joaquin, Juliana, as well as Traymont and Abraham.